I guess I should probably start now. Hi friends, welcome in! It is the evening stream. We're gonna do Unsound Mind. I needed to show up before I got too busy just shaking ass over here to this song, because I fucking love it. But, yeah. Welcome in! Hope everyone's evening is going well. We are, like I said, gonna do more Unsound Mind. This song is a fucking bop! It just makes me want to play Paradise Killer again. Why is Paradise Killer so good? Why is Paradise Killer so good? Someone tell me. Yeah, just me grooving over here. It's fine. Hey Travis, how's it going? How are you doing, friend? I need to open my soda, so there you go. It's got those good sax. Good sax. No! No! Captions! Sax! As in saxophone! Not as in bags! Or... oh, okay. Whatever. I'm done arguing with captions. Unsound Mind. There's a valve puzzle coming up, and I'm not happy about that. There's a bull running around. I'm not happy about that. The character that we're deep diving into, don't like that. Oh.
Sax.
Yeah, that. Sax. Thank you, captions. Thank you, Allie. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting play. We'll see how this goes. Fucking love Paradise Killer. Anyway, hope y'all are doing alright. It's been a couple hours since I've seen ya, talked to ya. I'm ready to go. But I want to wait until the song is over. It's got like 30 seconds left. Gonna wait until the end of the song. Because it's too good. Don't mind me while I just be a goober at the start of stream. It's fine. Sometimes you just gotta. Alright. Good way to start things out. Unsound Mind time though. Let's do this. So like I said, there's a valve puzzle. There's a bowl. Things are bad. Hey. It's already selected. Okay, that's what's going on. Good. Good. I'm very happy for you, Allie. It's about time she goes away. Also, wowie. If there's anything good to come out of the week, that is it. We'll take that as a win. Wow, this is much more sensitive than I remember it being. Oh, I remember. I don't want to do this puzzle. Can we just, like, not do this puzzle? Can we just not do this puzzle? Hi, Emmy. Take care of work. We'll be here when you get back. Do not worry about it. I hope it calms down sometime soon. Finish work on your safe room. Once you flip the switch, the electromagnetic energy emitted should be enough to open the magnetic lock. Why you had me convert an old blast room into a room where you could open stuff is a mystery. You guys sure do love your protocols. Insert one humble token to skip. Please. Okay, so I have to get it into here? But what if it goes through there? Then what? Okay, well, I at least know where it needs to go. Is he just sitting there? Okay, we gotta follow this all around. What is this one? Okay, that's unimportant right now. We're gonna work this puzzle backwards, right? Fuck off! Look, this is difficult enough as is without Mr. Bullman being everywhere. Is that how this works? Is this how it works? What if I just... I need him to go away! Okay, go! That brings that one down, right? Okay, now he's just hanging out over there. I think I need him to go away for forever. Anyway, how's it going? I'm glad that you might have enough board members to keep the one board member from being there. That's great. I have filled out all of the paperwork that I need to for this therapist, which is extremely exciting for me. I mean, we still gotta make sure that, like, we're a good fit, but it is progress in comparison to where we had been before, so I'll take it. Is he gone? Can he just go? Look, this bullman has got to have better things to do than just creep around in here all day, right? Like, come on. Come on! Where is it this one? Kind of? This seems incorrect. Is it this one? Yeah. Yeah, okay, so that's all put together. We are still stuck on the stupid bullum. We haven't finished that valve puzzle either that you saw before you went to Seeps. Now we're just stuck on a stupid conveyor belt puzzle. And it sucks. It's bad. It's bad here. Would not recommend. Oh, hello. I'm not here. Go away. I'm not here. You can't see me. Go away. Be gone! His tracking is miserable. This area is too small to be dealing with him here. Okay, from here, do we... Yeah, this is right. Okay. I have a better understanding of what they want me to do for this puzzle, but I still hate it. You know? Very bad bowl. Extremely bad bowl. Okay, so we need to go this way? Right? Just the worst, honestly. And I've already kind of lost track of where we've been. We want... Okay, there's this top one, right? We want this top one. Which goes through here. And comes through here. Goes this way. Excuse me. Goes this way. Through all these tunnels up here. Please go through. Please go through. Okay. Comes around this way. Goes down there. Cool. Can he go? I'm so dang annoyed, honestly. What if I just don't look at him? I can't get out of here. Those aren't even hitting his eyes! What am I supposed to aim for? Game! Oh... I hate this with a burning passion. Let me tell you. Okay, so it'll come around this way and come here. We want it to come from this direction. I'm just gonna move on as if nothing has happened. And if it comes from here, then it would have to come from here? Travis, no. Travis, no. Not that one. No, I want this to stay... We want it to come from here? Is this it? Did we do it? Oh god. Oh god. I think we've done it. I think this is it. I think we've made it. I think we've done the proper path, but I guess we'll find out. I
need more of this.
Can he go away? Well, I think I've done it. We haven't actually put it to the test. I just need him to go because I have to check something. Is he gone? No, he's still just hanging out down there. Dude. What if I make it go down this way? Okay, that would also work. Maybe we do it like that instead. I'm stuck. Okay, there we go. So let's break that, I guess, and wait for it to come this way, because I'm not gonna go out there. That's not happening. I mean, I do kind of want some of the items that are hanging around. Okay, maybe we will just wander around just a little bit. Just a touch. Why are you stuck? Why are you stuck? Why are you stuck? What is happening? Get away from me. Why is the box stuck? again, this puzzle is difficult enough without having to worry about an enemy that will track you from no matter where you are in the level. It's stuck. It will not move. Are you kidding me? Please. Kill me. Just kill me. Please, just end me. I love it when a puzzle breaks right after I've solved it. Saber, hello! Welcome in, friend. How are you doing? You've caught me at a bad time. Everything is extremely unfortunate here right now. Bad puzzles are bad. We don't appreciate them. But yeah, how's it going? How are you doing? Can we... Okay, let's try this one more time. We need this. Alright, great. We need to come all the way through here. Oh. And... Ugh. Bad enemies are bad. Okay, what if I just hide here for a little bit? Hi, Arcade. I'm glad you got your stuff done! Congrats! You've done it! You've done it so good. We are trapped in a bad puzzle. Okay, and then it'll go through here. And over here. Right. You cannot see me. You do not see me. Perceivant? I also can't... Oh, I can. Okay. The crouch is finicky sometimes, which is kind of annoying. Sir, I need you to go. Nice! We love a good extra long weekend. Enjoy it. Do something nice for yourself. Have fun with it. I think I do need it to go from over here, which is not ideal. Nope, that's the wrong one. This one. But yeah, that's awesome. Get away from me! Oh my goodness. I am sick and tired of this stupid bull. Refreshing. Okay. I think that's all the ways that we need to go, except for this one, but I might just let it go, take the long way since it got stuck the last time. And if we can avoid having it get stuck, that would be great. That sounds like a wonderful thing to be doing. I support this. Alright, I think we've done it. So let's go ahead and please break. Please break that. We'll let it go through. And we'll wait forever while it makes its way over here. But I'm not gonna go out there. We haven't wasted any of our bullets this time. What else? Our health is at 100%. We're just gonna hang out here for a minute while that case maybe slowly but surely makes its way over here. I'm over this level though, honestly. This is the least sympathetic character we have. The monster design was cool, but I hate the fact that he can see me from like 5 million miles away. And like, you can't it's so hard to shake him. Once you pull aggro, that's kind of it. Anyway. Oh, I heard it. I heard the box. Where is it? There it is. There it is. There it goes. Hi, box. If you could go a little faster, that would be great. Go away! Why won't you leave? It's, so this game so far has been really great. It's handled the concept of mental illness really, really well. It's got an interesting story. A lot of the mechanics are really cool. It's just this particular level that has been exceedingly frustrating. And it's mostly just because of the enemy AI and the fact that he like won't go away. And it's like, I've stated it already, so I'm sorry I'm just repeating myself at this point. This puzzle, I get it. I understand what they want me to do. It's straightforward enough in that regard. However, yeah, he's just a roidy, angry dude. And I kept trying to be like, well, you know, maybe he had a bunch of stuff going on, but it sounds like he's just been a dick the entire time. Have you tried throwing hamburgers at him? We just gotta approach this from the happy way. When in doubt, hamburger it out. We got the Balepo pheromone. Great. Great. Everything is fine. Also, hey Sketchy, how's it going?
I think I can open
Yeah, I know you can, Desmond. Opened it. Open it. Please. Please, just open it. Just open. Let me have it. There we go. We've done it. What would Happy Kayshurrr do? Be terrifying and awful and miserable and just stare at you. That's what. But have you seen Happy Kayshurrr? But have we all seen Happy Kayshurrr? Get me the fuck out of here. Great. All done. Whoa. All done. Let me leave. Everyone's seen Happy Kayshurrr now. You want the baby? Emmy would like to hear the baby. Give me a second, I gotta find it. Where is baby? There's baby. Alrighty then.
Alrighty then. It's baby time. That one was just for you since baby is on. I think baby's on. Baby's on? Baby's on. Baby is on. Baby is on. Your 5 minutes has started. I like to have the confirmation the baby is on. Because I can't hear it. And I have it genius. I do want to take this. Is that... It's been 5 minutes. Which, I think you all know what that means.
Baby is gone now. No more baby. Small Kaysh is gone. I don't know what we did with her, but she's gone.
It's blocked from the other side.
Ew!
It's blocked from the other side.
Of course it is. Well, what am I supposed to do then? Can I make more of this? I can! That is correct. No more baby for now. For now. Can I... That's not how we do that. How do I leave? Hey, buddy. Hey, pal. Hey, friend. Just gonna fill up on pills. Don't mind me, it's fine. Like, you would think I'd be able to get through here somehow, right? But I don't know what the pill does. It said that I'm supposed to use it to tame the bull. Which, okay, fine. That's how we use it. I do remember seeing a note that mentioned mixing the lure pills and like the chemicals made an explosion. Now we know. Next time on the Adventures of Kayshurrr Kayshington. That's a lot of Kaysh. I want to know how lure pills can be used to attract enemies. Lure pills also boost your stats and restore health. Good to know. That is what it says behind you. Cool. I'm now full on health. Let's go ahead and top us back off. 6 is the max amount of pills that we can have at any given point. Great. We have Sir Dingby Dongby Kayshurrr. Are you likening me to Sir Digby Chicken Caesar? Excuse me?
Can't carry any
Excuse
more
me?
of this. I'm good.
Is there anything else in here? Yes! I didn't mean to take that. Excuse me while I just, like, pop pills nonstop. This is fine, right? Okay, there's nothing else in here. I am the nemesis now. It's been decided. Okay, I see. Gotta get through here real dang quick. That's gonna be a bit of a problem. Okay, this is fine. Look, we've made progress, and that's what I'm happy about. Okay. Oops, I didn't mean to throw that. Eee! No, stop taking it! We're gonna have a big old pill problem by the end of this game. My god. I wish that that didn't take as long as it does. Ah! I don't know where I am in relation to them, but it does not matter. They are taken care of. I am up high. I don't know how I got on top of this, but I did.
There's only so much I can carry.
Well, carry more. Buddy. Pal. Friend. Desmond. Come on. You can do better than this. That is the wrong button! Oh my god. I'm just gonna keep doing it very, very bad. It's fine. I also kind of hoped that we would get bull powers, so I'm a little disappointed that we didn't. I guess it makes sense that we wouldn't, but also consider bull powers.
I could plug a chip in there.
What is this one? 2? 1 or 2? Okay. Well, that's open now, so that's great. What is this? More pills. Pills here! Great. Can we? Is there anything cool over here? Just some health items. That's not cool. What's over here? Nothing. Great. You love to see it. Right. We gotta get out of here. We've done it. We have gotten out. No! Don't take the stupid pills! Is there anything cool in here? Anything useful?
I
No?
could plug a chip in there.
Great.
I think the chip I used is too weak.
Is that a 2? I could check these before I try and pop stuff in there, but they're... Right. I remember that room. We're not gonna go back in there. We've done that room. It is time to go back downstairs to where the bull is. No, that's not what I told you to get. I told you to do this. That's a lot of pills. If you pilled it, they will come. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. That's the wrong button. Woo! Don't see me. Is he just... Here, do you wanna go back out there? You're fixated on that. That's great for me. I am out of pills, though, so that is a bit of a problem. That complicates the whole trying to get him to come out here and break this fence for me dealio that we're trying to do, right? Oh, pills here. Does make a very satisfying pop sound. Go get it, buddy. Here, boy. You just phased through that, but okay. What is around here? Get him, boy! Get him, boy! Break his noggin! Great. I love that for me. Oh. Thank you. You know, now that he's taking care of these guys for us, he's not that bad. Oh, he is aggressive again, though. Okay, that's fine. This is fine. Oh, maybe it's not. No, don't take it. I need you to throw it. I'm out of pills. A little steamy. Just a little. Where? I need more. Pills, please. Pills, please. Then go get it! Ah! If he can just gas those guys out, that would be great. I would appreciate it immensely. Here, he broke it open for us, so let's... We'll just duck down over here for a minute. You can't see me, I'm hiding! Please. If I could jump up here, that would be awesome. A little hot under the carburetor. Yo. I am so sick of this stupid enemy. Oh my god. But he can't. But he can. Here's the thing, though. He only smells your disappointment in him. My disappointment is great. Significant. Okay, there is... Let's just go. Let's just go. I want to find all these items, but I am so fucking sick of this level. Great, I've got more pills. Fantastic, you love to see it. What has this done for me? Pills, you are killing me. Stop. Hiding this out here in case I can't tell this story myself. People need to know what happened here. Max Nygaard, the driver who snuck me in here, has got a few loose screws, but I can tell his heart's in the right place. Kept talking about doing right by Maddie, whoever that is. After he dropped me off here, he went crashing right into the factory. I've never seen a man so utterly consumed with rage. How dare you, I could hear him shouting all the way from here. Give me back my job! There was a great uproar, then all of a sudden, silence. Max was supposed to give me a ride back into town as well, but he never showed up. Okay, but that doesn't change the fact that he fucking sucks. Also, yeah, Kayshurrr. That's my name, didn't you know? I thought, Emmy, you of all people. Okay, what am I doing here then?
I can't carry that much ammo.
What's the point of me being here now? Is that in the train? Oof! Yeah, I'm ready for this level to be done.
There's only so much I can carry.
Like, completely and entirely ready to be done with this level. But I want to get all the stuff, and I need to get it now, or I'll have to come back to this level, and that is also not ideal. Kind of nice to have a little bit of quiet, though. How do I get up there? How am I supposed to get up there? I don't see any hidden platforms. Please, game. It's there, though. I see it. Hmm. Oh boy. There. Is this it? Oh, fuck. Are you kidding me? How am I supposed to get up there? Oh. That's a good fucking question. I don't know. Like, I don't know where I'm supposed to go or what is supposed to happen. I keep throwing pills down and he's not doing anything about it. I assume I have to, like, knock something else over, but I don't know. Get away from me. Ugh. Yeah, but how? Oh, here. Okay, I found it. The other thing we're supposed to break down, I guess.
There's only so much I can carry.
This... Oh, no. Okay, well, that's fine, I guess. Like I said, this has been my least favorite level so far, which is extremely unfortunate because the rest of the levels have been so good that this just ends up being, like, extremely frustrating in comparison. Go break it! Go break it! What are you doing? Break it! Oh my god. And this doesn't go anywhere. That's cool. Mr. Nygaard, I know you sometimes come out here to smoke, but it's my duty as security officer to inform you that smoking is prohibited anywhere in the quarry, even in the hard-to-reach places. If I were you, I wouldn't want to be the reason this entire facility goes up in flames. One stray cigarette butt is all it takes. I've been turning a blind eye so far on account of your domestic situation, but don't let me catch you here again. Do you want me to blow shit up? Because I can do that. We just set everything on fire? Yeah? Okay, maybe not, but, Are there any other things to break down?
Can't carry any more of this.
Go get it. Fetch. This is where we started out from. Oh my god, go away. Is it over here? Is that it? Go get it. There we go. Go. Now you take your sweet time and just kind of go slowly. Alright, I see how it is. Whatever, my guy. Fetch. And away he goes. Pump station. How do I open you? Do you just open? No. Whatever, we're in a building. I don't have to deal with him for a minute. What do you want?
All this for what? You're very much alike, you and Max. Your priorities are all jumbled up. All you had to do was stay away. This whole situation is draining. You wave the red flag, El Matador. You deal with this bull.
Bull jokes. Do that. Minos Quarry sold to Mayor Pharma. On Tuesday, the Minos Quarry officially closed its doors for the last time. Mayor Pharmaceuticals, an American leader in medicine and science, has reportedly purchased the entire quarry grounds and then some. Our plans to convert the old factory into a shiny new distribution center will begin within 2 months' time. We're very excited, says Mr. Stephen Hill, Mayor. Milton Haven is near and dear to our hearts, and we are proud to do our part by creating gainful employment for the people of this fine town. Can't wait to become part of the family. Do it. Do it. Just do it. That's what we're here for. I don't think he's Travis, but he's not Travis. Right? Trenchcoat Man's gotta up his game if he wants to get on Travis's level. We know this. The historical quarry, owned and operated by the Minos Corporation for decades, was primarily used for the mining of silver and lead, and was considered to be a bedrock of employment for many of Milton Haven. As the yield began to decline over the past decades, however, the Minos Quarry had streamlined its operations and reduced its workforce significantly across the quarry, processing factory and adjacent power station. Mayor swooped in and saved Minos's behind, said Bob, one of the few employees that was still working at the quarry grounds at the time of the buyout. I don't mind, so long as we don't bomb ourselves back to the Stone Age. People always need security guards. Alright, Bob.
Delicious.
I like how there was still all the crashing and stuff going on. While I was reading. It's not wrong, Saber. Very good, very good. This is a safe space for puns, though. Just so you know, we're here for it. Are you still just doing your thing over here, buddy? Oh, stop with your stupid, terrible nonsense. Get in there. We even have a chat command. If somebody makes a particularly good pun, exclamation point. Ow! Yo! There you go. Get in there. I want you gone. Oof. If that's what he wants, he's not getting it. I don't date beef heads. Alright, let me leave, please. Or at least take care of him so that he's not an issue anymore. He's just angry. Get this man a Snickers? I like the bubbling sound. Are we like... Nope, he's coming. Alright. Oh Lord. He coming. I would like for him to just be gone though. Like for good. Let's go. Go away! Personal space, my guy! Look, sucks about your wife and stuff, and like you losing your job, but that's not my problem, my dude. Look, we're just gonna skip all of this and just go to the next pump station. There we go. Okay. Not an issue. Not an issue. I don't even know where he is at this point. It's fine. I'm just trying to find the next couple of places. There he is. I should move away from there. Hills.
Gotta hit him where it hurts.
Yeah, I understand, Desmond. We're doing it.
How do I
We're doing it,
check
buddy.
that armor of his?
Buddy!
Maybe if I lure him into ramming one of those pillars.
Desmond, I'm ahead of you, bud.
Full of your anger, Max.
Excuse me. You wanna go to that one? I have no more pills. You're not you when you're hungry.
His armor's breaking, exposing him.
Yeah, I get it. We get it. We understand. I just need more pills. Don't think you understand, Desmond, that your aim is terrible.
Your anger, Max.
No, you're not. You're really not, buddy. Look, I'm throwing a fucking pill over here for you. Why are they so bouncy?
He's weak. Delicious. Can't we talk about it?
Is that it?
I'm trying to help you.
Okay, look here, buddy.
You control your anger, not the other way around.
Ah! I can't see anything. I don't know what they want me to do. Is it time to shoot him right in the nose? There we go. I don't want to get mowed over though. Consider no. This is exceedingly upsetting.
Max, you're hurting yourself.
Please, Max, you're hurting me. Consider the following.
Max, you're hurting yourself.
This doesn't seem to be doing anything to his stupid face. I just have to keep shooting him in the eyes, even though his face is glowing? Okay. Do you want...
I'll come back for this if I need it.
Do I need to shoot a flare in his nose? Excuse me. like, what are we doing here?
Max, you're hurting yourself.
Can't tell if that actually did anything or not. This is beyond frustrating. I hate this level.
You're resurrecting your rage.
Genuinely despise this.
I don't want to hurt you.
Oh, the reload on this is trash.
I have to calm him down somehow. He seems addicted to these lure pills.
Okay, but where are the lure pills, Desmond? Hear me out. There they are, and we've died.
Throw these lure pills into the exposed parts. I can calm the man in.
Oh, is that what I'm supposed to do? Okay. That was extremely unclear to me this entire time, but now we know. I think at that point, it would be better to just have the exposed part on his nose be a different color, mayhaps a purple. As we have been shown, that purple is usually where we throw the lure pills. Get in there. Just get in there. Do the thing. Just do the thing, Max. Oh my god.
How do I chip that armor of his? Maybe if I lure one of those pillars.
Right? You don't want a case of the purples. We've learned this the hard way, really, actually.
This isn't you.
No, Desmond, I think this is one of the few times where this is him. Get the fuck away from me. Oh my god. No! Desmond, your aim sucks! These pills are so bouncy! Is that all of
His
them?
armor's breaking, exposing him.
Okay, well let's do this, I guess. Ugh.
Be mindful of your anger, Max.
Get the fuck away from me.
You're being blinded by your anger.
Okay, Desmond, would you like to reload any slower? No, no.
Try and be calm.
I'm out of fucking pills again. Oh, I hate this.
Can't we talk about it? His skull is cracking. He's weak.
Okay, do I have to make him do that again? Do we have to do this again?
I'm not your enemy, Max.
Have you considered just being a little less of an asshole,
Can't carry any more.
Max? There are no pills anywhere! Oh.
Hurt you. Being blinded by
Excuse you! No! Oh my god.
You're misdirecting your rage.
Why can I eat these? I want to be done with this level immediately, right now. Knows about to have some anger issues? This bitch right here. Fuck off, Max.
You're misdirecting your rage.
I don't want to hear any more of this. Oh.
Please, Max, you're hurting yourself.
You're kidding me.
I'm not your enemy, Max.
fence was in my way. Okay, I'm throwing it into his face. What more do you want?
I don't care about your business. I care about your life.
I'm gonna die again. We are about to die again.
You're misdirecting your rage. Please, Max, you're hurting yourself.
Please, Desmond, you are hurting me. Alright. They said to throw the pills into his face, right?
Please, Max, you're
Into the
hurting
exposed
yourself.
part on his face. We've done that. And it's done nothing. I keep shooting him in the eyes and it just stuns him. We've broken all the pillars down there. I don't know what else I'm supposed to do with this idiot. Like, yeah, kind of. I don't know if it's new dialogue because we've progressed more, or if it's because we've just been here for so long that it's like, oh shit, we can get through all the dialogue now. Doesn't matter. I had 6 health anyway. This is beyond frustrating, though. Like, he's not invincible, obviously, because we wouldn't be here if that was the case, but it's just really annoying. Come on! Okay.
How do I chip that armor of his? Maybe if I lure him into ramming one of those pillars.
Yeah, no, Desmond, I'm doing that. If you could actually throw the pills where they're supposed to go,
Talk about it.
that would be great. Have you considered actually doing a thing? Alright, there's that.
His armor's breaking, exposing him.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not going to.
Okay. I mean, this is what we were doing before.
He's weak.
Oh my god. Get in there. My brush is antique plating!
I don't want to hurt you.
Can I get you to, like, ram these? No, because those are... What
I don't
else?
care about your business. I care about your life.
It's just all pills!
Can't we talk about it?
Can I get you to, like, come here? No, that's not what I wanted to do. Come on.
I don't care about your business. I care about your life.
Oh, Desmond, what are you even saying? I legit have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing.
Control your anger, not the other way around.
Fence is in my way. I'm dying again.
Be mindful of your anger, Max.
Stupid. I mean, I guess.
It's cracking.
Yeah, it's okay. Am I just supposed to, like, go to town on his face? Because that's not really indicating that anything is happening.
You control your anger, not the other way around.
Am I supposed to, like, knock him out and then interact with his face with the pills or something? Get away from me!
Max, this isn't you.
Yeah, no, all the guys are videos. That's one reason why I was having an issue yesterday when I was trying to look stuff up. Or not yesterday.
It's cracking. I'm not your enemy, Max.
That do anything? Yeah. I think that's probably another thing that I have, like, as far as, like, complaints are concerned with this game, is that, like, the indications that you're doing anything right are non-existent, basically. Yeah. What do you got? I'm running out of ideas here.
I don't want to hurt you.
Because I tried to interact with his face when I stunned him with the pill, and he was just like, oh, it's cracking.
Be mindful of your anger, Max.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much else that I can do. I'm gonna die again, though. Like, I have no health.
Be mindful of your anger, Max.
And I can keep trying to, like, chip away at it, but it doesn't... I don't know, I guess, like, I'm running out of bullets. I have 15 hit points once it's done.
Misdirecting your rage.
Healing me a little bit. It's just, again, I wish, like, there was more of an indication. I know that, like, dialogue progression and... or just dialogue progression in general is, like, usually an indication, but also there has been so much repetition in the dialogue, even with, like, the minor progression, that it's like, is this actually making a difference? Or have we just not exhausted it? Consider trying. If I could just walk away from the situation, I would fucking love it.
Be calm.
He's the one who's trying to make me control him. Let's keep this in mind. I would like to leave and not bother with him. Considered a
You
big
control your anger,
swoosh.
not the other way around.
Consider, Max. Get away from me! Oof. I'm just trying to find health of any kind. What if I just hide here? What if you just don't come near me for a little bit? I just want some healing. Right now, I would like some healing. Okay, he's way the fuck over there. We're gonna walk away for a minute while I try to find some health items. Okay, ha 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 ha. If you pilled it. Yeah, well, give me food. I wish my stamina would come back faster. We're so slow. Didn't even make it all the way through. Anything in here worthwhile? No, absolutely not. Great. Have we figured out what we're supposed to do? I hate having to turn to a guide, but like I'm out of ideas. Slash, mostly just want to focus on getting my health back up right now. I would like to heal. I would love to heal. Consider letting me heal. Threw it up his nose. So what I was doing, only better? Was it after they, after they broke down all of the pillars? Or was there something more that they did? Yeah? Okay. Well, let me get some health back. You know what? No. Hey, Max! Come here. I'm throwing it up his nose.
It's breaking.
I don't think it's broken enough, so we just gotta keep shooting him? It's like what Sketchy said, which, again, makes sense, but also consider not making me hit him as much as I am. There's some frame stuttering going on, so I'm just running into stuff. This is fine. Do we got any food up here? Hey, game? You know all those health items you kept giving me when I didn't need them? You got any of those left? Okay, so just keep doing what we're doing even though it feels futile. Great. Just because they weren't even throwing it at the orange spot. That's bad design. That's bad design. Unless the hitbox is just extremely huge. We'll keep hitting him, but like I said, I need some health at the moment. So we're gonna wander around for a minute while I find some sort of healing item, because ouchies. And it's like, I know we've left a bunch of items, both healing and otherwise, around. But the game doesn't want to give it to me anymore. Now, that's unfortunate. Because I need it. Hey, game. I'm not gonna face your stupid boss if I don't have any health. fuck it. Whatever. Let's go. We've got 4 shells, a decent amount of bullets. It's all just extremely unfortunate. Okay, let's go back down, I guess. Is there anything left over there? No. Yeah, I mean, we're still going. I was just trying to find health. I just wanted some healing items. That's all. But that's asking too much, apparently. Okay, back to the hangar. See? Whoa! I am out of pills, though. Max, please. There should be stuff in here. Actually. There should be lots of stuff in here. And now that he's gone, I should be able to get my fill. Too much for one man. Desmond, listen. Listen. You're useless, okay? Well, there should have been a lot of items around here. Great, we're at 30 health now. Are you fucking kidding me? He can still get in here? I hate everything. Oh. No. I don't like this. I know I keep saying it, but I'm gonna keep saying it because I don't like it. I'm getting stuck on stupid stuff. I have no stamina. I have no health. I have no pills. I ain't got nothing. Absolute garbo.
Try and be calm.
Okay, what if I get down here before Max shows up? Pills are back. Great. We got a little more health. Get away from me. We've got a little more health again. Awesome. Just let Max take his time to get back down in the pit. Meet me in the motherfucking pit. Let's go. Ugh.
Please, Max, you're hurting yourself.
What does this do?
It's a hook. It's a hook.
Yeah, it's a hook.
Stuck in the ground. You're being blinded by your anger.
There he is.
I'm trying to help
Are you
you.
fucking kidding me? Ah!
I care about your business. I care about your life.
Stop moving! Desmond, I need you to look down the fucking sights when I tell you.
I don't want to hurt you.
Oh. Okay. goes, I see it's starting to get
Trying
it.
to help you.
Give out. Okay. So it is doing something. You just have to not suck. Basically, is what I'm getting at.
Not the other way around.
Oh!
You're misdirecting your rage.
Where was it? Health. Great. Okay. Again, I am like out of bullets. So this is making it a little difficult to like
I don't care about
progress
your
at all.
I care about your life.
I can't knock him out anymore. I don't have anything on me. Like, I'm down to my melee weapon. That's it. Oh.
I'm not your enemy, Max.
Alright, let's go. Kill me. I can't do anything. I don't have anything, so you just end me. I know what I'm doing now, though, I guess, so it'll be fine. Can you actually, like,
I'm trying to
kill
help.
me?
I don't care about your business. I care about your life.
Stop turning around. Hills respawn over time. That's a thing. Okay, but nothing else does. I don't know why I ate that. Come on.
I don't care about your business. I care about your life.
Alright, let's try this one more time. Now that we've confirmed that what we were doing is what we're supposed to do. Let's actually, like, aim properly and make this happen. This whole level was bad. This whole level was bad. Why have you started me here? Okay. Alright, look here. We're gonna load an earlier save because apparently it auto-saved when we came into the building. So I have no I have no bullets, I have no health. So let's just do an earlier save state. That also remains one of the things that I'm complaining about with this game, is that I cannot manually save, and that's kind of bogus. Water, please.
I gotta hit him where it hurts. How do I chip that armor of his? Maybe if I lure him into having one of those pillars.
There.
His armor's breaking, exposing him.
We take that. And then
His skull is cracking. He's weak. I'm good, no thank you.
So again, just sort of.
I'm not your enemy, Max.
So basically, just keep doing what we were doing, and eventually we'll be able to do stuff. Because I was throwing pills into his arm, or like into the red bit, and it wasn't doing anything yet. And I assumed that we just like hadn't done enough damage at that point. Which, whatever. We shot him so much. Desmond, that wasn't fucking working. That wasn't working.
These lure pills might do the trick.
You gonna keep telling me about the lure pills? That's cute. Okay. I'm gonna hope that looks about as exposed as it was. Drop the pillars on him and was able to do it. Okay, I'll try. That's what, I mean, that's what we had been doing. Okay. Are you shitting me?
The pills calm him down. It's working.
We had done that, though. We tried that. I did that. Even when Desmond was like, oh, like, we can use the lure pills or whatever. I don't give a shit, Max. Shut the fuck up, my dude. Sucks for Maddie, my guy. I am so over you. Alright, well,
She will always be your daughter.
sucks for you.
You will always be her dad.
Oh my god. Thank you for bearing with us while we did it. You just explode? We've done it.
Max tried to fight back.
Holy crap. Alright, my lovely Madison, I know I haven't been the best dad a girl could ask for. I have flaws, too many to count, but I always wanted what's best for you. We did it.
You did it.
Thank you, Allie. I'm sorry that was such a slog. That was awful. That was awful. That was all awful. I hated that. I don't even care to finish reading his note.
That's gotta be hard. I think I understand Max a little better.
You are a better person than I, Desmond, because I don't give a shit about Max. It was so unclear. Like, at least with, like... I mean, it was extremely unclear with the lighthouse as well. But, like, the lighthouse did respond when we shot it. And I also wasn't getting... Well, I was getting damaged, but I was... The lighthouse lights were easy to kind of... Well, not terribly easy. I wasn't trying to. But I imagine I could avoid those. He was up in my grill the entire time. Are we indestructible? Are we... I don't want to have to come back. We're gonna go grab the stuff now that there's no bull to deal with. And I think all of the enemies are gone. Yeah, no, progress was definitely not shown appropriately. Now I could, like, spot the difference on his, like, on the front of the skull to see, like, what was going on. But it wasn't dramatic. Arcade, you're not wrong. That level was a loadable. Yeah, like, I don't have an issue with, like, the overall mechanics of it. They just needed to show it better. They needed to present what was happening to us better. Which has been a consistent issue that we've come across. Alright, let's restock on stuff. And also find these pills, because again, it's just a good wander about, don't have to deal with enemies. Just find the things. That one is so high. How do we get up there? 3 hits then out of tactic. Sound boss strat, right? Right?
I can't carry that much ammo.
It's fine. We have done it. Again. Sorry, I was getting upset. Thank you for sticking with us. I promise. All games I play are not like that. No quadruple jump. None. None quadruple. It's barely even a regular jump. I mean, this is the cooldown. This is us wandering around and not doing anything. We can check something else out, though. I guess. What do you want to look at? What do we want to look at? Oh, that's the wrong screen. There we go. There we go. Can we look at cute octopuses? Of course. Of course. Don't gotta ask twice. We're gonna look up specifically cute octopus. Octopus. Hold on. Let's play some music while we're doing this. Oh! Oh! Look at this baby! Hold on, hold on. Look at this baby! He's got goofy eyes and I love him. Also, this is a Dumbo octopus and they're perfect. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Oh, baby. It's true. Sometimes you gotta look at a good octo. I love Dumbos though. They're precious. And then there's that goober. What else we got? What else we got? I don't want to just look at. Here, we'll just do octopus. See what we get. I mean, I think all octopus are cute, honestly. Look at him. So pretty. So pretty. There is a vampire. Is it a... I think it's a squid. They are all good octos, it's true. Or is it... No, it might be an octopus. Oh, it helps to spell properly. Yeah, the vampire squid. He is a squid. I was right, okay. They're pretty dope, though. Oh, that's the wrong one. Look at him. He's got little ears. That's not true, Fruity. You can catch one in Animal Crossing, it's true. They're pretty cool. There's also... These guys are some of my favorites. Because they like to mimic other creatures. So they can make themselves look like, suggestion for specifically newborn baby pandas when they're all pink? You want to look at a blood-flavored gummy bear? We can do that. We can do that. But zebra octopus are dope because they can look like, they can either make themselves look like crabs, like eels, or just big blobs. And I love them because they're goofy as fuck. What? Baby, red panda? Oh, baby panda. Not red panda. There! Oh no, you're so small! You're too small. This works, though. Ah! Babia, look at him. Look at his little scream. They are precious. Babier, gummier. Do you want? We could go. I think this is as baby and as gummy as they go. I think this is as baby and gummy as they go. They're so small. You know what? Hold on. I think I have pictures of my babies. That's just pandas when they're adults too, though. Consider. Pandas are idiots. They don't got no teeth. Hold on. I gotta find... You wanna see some gummy? You wanna see some gummies? I got some gummies for ya. Alright? Alright? Check it out. Hold on, I need a window. Window capture. This is... I want to make sure I'm grabbing the right one. You know what? Hold on. Let's do it this way. Sorry, this is gonna take me a second. This is gonna be very large. But look at these little gummy bears. Please, I need you smaller. Picture. And then I can just zoom in. Alright. These were my gummies. Actually, we'll just make it big. We'll just make it big. You can just see it this way. Those are my gummies. Back when I had gummies. It's a lot of gummies. Let me make sure that... Here they are when they're a little less gummy, but they got their color. They're now colored gummies. So wrinkly. What else we got? What else we got? Here they are, these little tiny babies. Look at that. We've gone from octopus to pandas to rats. It always comes back to the rats. Those are my little goobers, though. My sweet, sweet beans. Like, almost quite literal beans. There they are. There's the babies. Back when I had a whole horde. They were all perfect in every possible way. Always splooting them. Sorry, I was making sure it's Lamia eating her food. It is. But yeah, I had baby rats for a while, and it was great. But now we got these little goobers right here, and it's great. All right, one more octopus for good measure. This one's ready to fight. Look at it go! It's ready to throw tents. Octopus make everything better. Beautiful. I would love to get baby rats again. Just rats, honestly. Like the wall hooks. Just like the wall hooks. What other cool things do we got in here? What other neat octos? That's a big octo. Look at how majestic this fucker is. That's one majestic beast right there. Tupai making rude Italian hand gestures. Hey! I love octopus. If we couldn't tell, I'm kind of a fan of them. That's a quest giver. They're so cool, though. Look at him. Look at him. I do understand why some people find the sea as terrifying as they do. But also, look how fucking dope that is. Oh, hi! Would you like to come say hello? Kitten! Look who we got. It's a llama. Hello. What are you doing? Many hug for many things. Many arms for many hug is what I'm trying to say. And it wasn't going very well. Hi. It's all good. It's a llama. Go home, Emmy! Get some rest. You got this. Hi. Can I... Oh, thank you. Can I set you down on the ground now? Please? Hmm? My majestic beast! Alright, down you go. Emmy says she loves you. How does that make you feel? She won't tell me. She won't tell me her secrets, but that's okay. Alright. It was a good cool down. It was a much needed cool down. Oh, I guess I should probably turn game sound back on. Hi, Lamia. She scream. You said you closed today, right? Because everyone's ill? Well, too many people are ill. Bleh. I have Lamia fur in my mouth. Lamia. But also, thank you, Bono! Okay, well, you know what? The full 8 hours is better than the 12 you usually pull. I will accept it. I'm glad everyone's going home. Okay? Or is home. Or is taking care. Also, I think I said it, but I don't remember. Bono, thank you for the lurk. We love you. Hope you're doing well. Hey! We love cookies. Enjoy them. Okay, there's nothing back over here. Make cookies. We have 5 pills left. We've got 1, 2, 3. There is one over there. Travis, thank you for the bubble. I don't want to have to come back to this level, is the thing. That's a rude place to hide things. But it is easier now that we're not getting chased constantly. So that's appreciated. Where... There was one, like, super high up, right? There. Where is that? Why can't I find it? Gotta make all the cookies. Make all of them. Okay, hold on. Where is the super high up? Am I just, like, seeing shit? I think I am. Okay, there's those two. Is it back here? I thought I saw one that was, like, super high up. Okay, well, let's go back in. Where is that? Maybe that's what I'll do for this weekend. Let's make cookies. What kind of cookies y'all want? What kind of cookies? There! Where is that? How do I get up there? Game, are you high? Skyrim, yeah. Okay, just casually, without issue, just Skyrim it.
Too much for one man.
Okay. Will do. Well, ginger snaps, but I might try to make them. I was gonna say, I don't know that I've ever made ginger snaps. Make ginger snaps. Do it. Do it. Do it. How? I think a horse helps. No rip, Max. Max can get fucked. Is there?
I'll come back for this if I need it.
How? How? Like, genuinely, how am I supposed to get up there? Because that's where it is, right? There is fall damage, like Skyrim. Just like Skyrim. I don't understand. Whatever. You know what? Wait a second. You can't walk on the wires. Everything always comes back to Skyrim. Always. Skyrim is eternal. How the hell? Can I, like, shoot it down? Damn it, Todd! I don't know that I can use a ladder, though. Like, I can't climb. The only thing that I could think of is, like, climbing on the wires, but I don't think that's possible. Hoping Dark Souls winged demons come and take us away. Skyrim the ultra graphic. No, no. Yeah, I can't. Whatever. You know what? I don't care enough for this, and if I do, I'll come back and do it on my own time. I will get this one, though. Because we can. Thanks. We just, like, we're doing so well for, like, getting all of the pills so far, but at this point, I don't give a shit. Let's leave. Let's just go. We got other shit to check out. we've got other things in the hotel to check out before we even, like, move on to the next level. Which is exciting. Well, I guess it's not really a hotel, is it? It is an apartment building. Whatever. I do like exploring the apartment. Getting a feel for that. So, that is what we will do. Is there... Okay, we're full up on pills again. Great. What game were we playing the other day? It was Mass Effect. We were trying to figure out, do you think that's do you think Skyrim's still getting re-released in the year that Mass Effect takes place? And I think yes. 100%. Where is the door? Is it down here? You know it's the case. You know it's gonna happen. I think Skyrim is a Yeah. Todd Howard would be re-releasing it because he's a head in a jar at that point. Not me thinking that goofs that happened with Fruity and I also occurred with everyone else. All of our inside jokes have gotten so outside that I assume every inside joke is known by everyone now, and it's not the case. I'm sorry. Skyrim was, is, and always will be. Skyrim scares me now. Skyrim has gotten too powerful. I barely touched the water game. Desmond. We just fought a bull man, okay? I don't think sense is what we need to be making of things. Oh, it's fine. We do actually... We do be talking about Smooth Salmon Man a lot. As if it is a completely normal... As if it's a completely normal thing to be discussing. Played it like twice for 30 minutes each time and didn't like it. I can understand why some people don't dig it. I like it just because I can cause chaos and also mod the shit out of it. But, Travis.
I don't understand. How could Meyer do something like this?
Meyer.
Because they think they could get away with it.
Yeah,
Listen,
well.
someone called here while you were out. It sounded urgent. You should check your messages ASAP.
But what if I don't?
Gotcha.
What if I don't wanna?
Dr. Wales, you there?
It's aight.
Listen, the meeting went bad. They took her, man. I barely escaped. I don't know what they're gonna do. They're after me, and they might be coming after you too, just for seeing me. I'm sorry. Please
Dark Souls.
contact me so we can figure this out.
I will vehemently defend Dark Souls, but also still understand why a lot of people don't like it.
Isn't that Lucas Cole, one of your patients?
Fucking love Dark Souls,
Yes.
though.
Though he didn't show for his last appointment.
You
Tanya.
should call him back.
Phones haven't really been working in my favor.
Guess we have to do this the hard way.
Yeah, I
Lucas
know.
had a cabin in the forest, didn't he?
Travis is
Try
wrong
and see if you can access it from the building.
about
Maybe
Dark
there's
Souls 2
something
being
there that'll help us make
the
contact with
favorite,
him.
but you know, we can't all be right.
While you're at it, you should check out what's happening downstairs.
We do
This
gotta
place is
finish.
falling
No, I know.
apart.
Tanya, let me go! Let me just yell at this cat. It's fine.
See you soon.
Oh my god. Gotta finish, or at least make a little more progress in that Dark Souls 2 run that we're doing in the server. Gotta make it happen. Now that with finals being ready to go, almost being done. I should have a little more time to actually, like, do shit.
To drop all the way down and explode. Since you're stuck there, starving to death, how about you take this opportunity to reflect on what a major pain in the ass you've been?
Bruh. Can I... We make it fall this way, right? Bad, sad monster man. Just beat the boat, guys. It's true. It's true.
Did you call elevator service?
Hi.
A grown man being billed up by a cat. Come on, let's go.
I can, though. But I can. Watch me. Listen to me, Travis.
So this is what happens when I'm not around. Huh. As if all this wasn't enough, you gotta get
I've done
stuck
it.
in the vents.
I'll do it again. Should probably pay attention to where you're walking.
What the tapes really mean to you. They're
Oh.
not just recordings of your patients, that's for sure.
But yeah, no, we should definitely
This is their stories and
do more Dark
troubles, but what
Souls
of your own?
at some point
Who decides
in the server.
story of Desmond Wayne?
Also,
It's not
Travis,
too late, you know.
more
Things
Bloodborne
change.
sometime soon.
Your story's not set in stone.
I know you're also busy and overwhelmed with
I could really go for a cheeseburger
finals.
right about
I want a cheeseburger. Can I have a cheeseburger?
now. Oops. I mean, Desmond, behave. Where's my gas mask? Ah, sheesh.
That cat just farted. Also, what are you doing?
I shitted.
And
And
farted. I think cat is broken. Go out to the coast. We'll get together. Have a few laughs. Let's go. Love when movement animation doesn't quite line up with the speed and they start sliding. Someone get me a boiga! Let's go! I would love to have a cheese boiga. Honestly, though, I would love to have a cheeseburger right now.
This is where you get off. See you back at the office.
Look, I was super productive today. I've been super productive in general lately. I deserve fucking cheeseburger. All right. All right, can't go there. That's fine. I wonder. Does that clear it all out? No, just a portion of it. Okay. Well, that's good science. We'll just let that all explode for a little bit. This is fine. And normal. This is our next place. I don't wanna do it just yet. But oh no. Oh no, even bigger oh no. Right, we were gonna try and get to that vent, which we can now because we have the pills. It does hurt, yes. Yes, it does. Tectinol. That's everything that's down here, though. Borger. Wasn't looking. Is it a fishing level? No fishing. None fishing. Oh! Hi, asshole!
People die when they're killed.
Okay, buddy. Whatever you say, bud. This dude. It's in there. I don't want to go in there just yet. There are things over there, though. Ah! I wasn't expecting there to be enemies. There are a lot of oh-no's. The oh-no's happened. Because the water hurt me. And it's probably because of fish. But, I wouldn't know. I didn't stick around long enough to find out. It's in there! How do I get in there?
It's blocked from the other side.
Okay. Oh no. No. None fishing. None fishing. No fishing. Ever. Zero. Not allowed. Won't do it. Will not allow it. Not ever. There's one. Oh, you are there. Okay, that's fine.
Feeling bloated.
Okay, so there's that janitor's room, right?
Too much for one man.
But I don't know how to get into it. Where did it go? Bill's here. I don't like that there are enemies everywhere now. That's exceedingly unfortunate. You know what? It's fine. Let's go in here real fast. Oh no. Oh no. What's your plan, Fruity? If you play the mystery fishing game?
What a beast.
Oh, that would be fine. I could do that. I'd be down for that. Also, Angry Raid.
Barman is raiding with a party of 4. Kaysh and the gang welcome you.
Hi, friends. Welcome in. Thank you for getting that shout out there. You're doing more Stardew today. Exciting. Oh. Not me yawning when you come in. Sorry. How's it going, Angry? How are you doing? How is everybody? You did a very good job, Fruity. I was so concerned. I was very concerned that it was gonna be horrible and miserable, but this is,
Thank you.
this is acceptable. I can do team commentary with you. There were songs in your stream and I missed them! Another chill stream with hot sauce. Nice! Good! I'm glad it went well. Well, welcome in, to you and the Raiders. We're doing some more In Sound Mind. You have missed all of the bad that was going on, so that's great. I didn't think that that was gonna work, but hey! We've done it! Beautiful. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But yeah, welcome in, friends. We're playing a neat little game. You've missed the part that was awful. Hopefully it's all good from here on out. There are the content warnings if you need them. Hello, Hot Sauce. Welcome in. I heard you were doing some fun stuff with Angry. I hope you had a good time. I guess I should probably... I feel like... Look, Angry, I love you. And I think you know this. And I appreciate all the raids. But I feel like y'all know who I am at this point. But if you need a quick rundown, my name is Kayshurrr. You can call me Kaysh. I play horror and mystery games. It's spooky here all year round. Yeah. Because we play spooky games, we do offer content warnings for every single game we play. You know, heavy content, shit like that, making sure that you know what you're getting into. So yeah, I'm gonna read this letter. What does this tell you? What does this tell you, what I dream about and such? Not exactly. It clues me into the way you think, mostly. Fine, lay it on me. What might this be? Nothing. No, really, I see nothing that makes sense. Try. A baby? A crying baby? Next. An animal. Some type of beast. Alright. A bull, that's what it is. Big old bull, come to get ya. There it is. Whoop. There it is. What is this? Dear diary, it's me, Maddie. Today was a pretty good day. My friends all sang me happy birthday, and Charlotte O'Brien said 10 was the age we start liking boys. So I said, ew. Duh. When I got home, Mom was crying. She said she wasn't feeling good, but later when she called Aunt Marie, I heard her say that Dad kicked a chair across the room and broke it, which scared her. She also said something about going to live there, but I don't know what she's planning. My wish for my birthday is that Dad finds a new job. I don't think driving makes him happy. We would be much happier if we could get a job working for... Or if he could get a job working for one of those car repair shows he likes on the television. I still don't feel... Sorry, I should probably finish the raid nonsense. Raiders, Angry, and people who came in on the raid. If y'all need to take a break, you've been streaming for a while, get up, do a stretch, get some food, get some water, do all that good stuff. Do it. It's important that you take care of yourself. We love you hanging out with us, but taking care of yourself is dang important. Kind of, yeah. I just redid the color. I was getting a little light for my liking. That is true. We can also do a stretch. Anytime I have to do a self-care thing, be it a stretch or a posture check, doing a hydrate, it is highly recommended that you do it as well. Because if I've been sitting here for a long while, assumably you have been sitting here for a long while, but even if you haven't, it's good to stay moving. Even just a little bit. But yeah, thank you for noticing, Angry. I just re-dyed it. It's the same color as before. Just fresh. Right? Getting a good stretch in, always good, always important. It can't hurt to do it fairly often. Don't push yourself. Don't break anything. Thank you, Travis, for the stretch redeem. Always appreciate it. But yeah, like I said, if you need to get up and attend to other business, go for it. I usually stream for 3 hours in the evenings. We got about 45 minutes left. 45 minutes left of this particular stream. So if you want to come back before we end, more than welcome to. If you want to stay, you're more than welcome to. It's just important to me that y'all take care of your dang selves. Alright, I think that's everything that's in here. We got the vinyl. We got the record. Sounds good, Angry. You know how we feel about lurks around here. We love them. We appreciate them. They're great. Lol.
I'll come back for this if I need it.
What else do we need to do? There's still plenty of pills here. We've got the 4 right there. There's 7 in total, though, that we haven't gotten yet. Excuse me? Flame in the dark. Hidden in shadows. Oh. Thank you,
Cheer
Sarah.
for cheer up.
I appreciate it, Sarah. And we appreciate the lurk as well. I hope you're doing alright.
I know 100 different ways to kill you.
Sir.
I could strangle you right now with that phone cord, and you'd never see it coming.
Except I would. Is that your plan? Oh, hang it up.
Was worth a shot.
Was it? What are we saying? You are okay? Good. I'm glad you're doing well. We're doing better. It's been a decent day. It's mostly just anxiety for about next week, but that's okay. We'll get through it. We always do. I want to get into this dang closet. How do I get in there? I'll check. How? I will check it. I'll check after stream. Thank you for the heads up. But yeah, do your lurk. Like I said, I appreciate it. Clever. See, I like it when the game does stuff like that. That's neat. Overall, I do really like this game. That last level was just so trying in all of the worst possible ways. Okay, what do we got? We still have... Hello? Someone's knocking. Can I... Can I break in like this? Kind of. Okay, we've got the two left over there. One of them, I think, is in... Okay, this is fine. This is fine. It's all fine. On.
Can't carry any more of this.
We got everything that was in there, right? Yeah. I'm sneaky. What can I say? I'm sneaky. It's over there. Right, yeah, before Bad Cow level, we were having a great time with this game. Fun was had by all. But then Bad Cow showed up. We were betrayed by the Bad Cow. How in the world do I get in there?
Can't carry any more of this.
If I close this. That... Oh! I like...
Can't carry any more of this.
I like stuff like that! That's cool! But Bad Cow had to come around, ruin everything for us. Hi, please... Hey, this is... not kosher! Ah! Okay. Not entirely sure how you saw me through the walls, but you did. So that kind of sucks. But that's fine. We have taken care of it. I said not kosher, but it's also not
Too much for
Kayshurrr.
one man.
It's not Kayshurrr approved. We didn't like it. Don't do that also. Nice. We are all adults here. What was I doing? Trying to find pills. There. Where is that? Is that below? It can't be. We're all adults here. It's fine. What? Is this another... There we go. Okay. We are tall children with lots of responsibilities. It's fine. This is what we want. It's not what we want. What is this? Something horrible is gonna happen on your way back. Don't say that. This is rude. That's mean. Is that literally all I got from this? Oh, wait. I'm gonna scream. What? What? I saw something. We got it. We got it. I think that's everything on this level, though. I'm gonna just run through in the dark, and I don't give a shit. Maybe I do kind of give a shit. Just a little one. Stop, I don't like that sound!
Yes, hello, Mr. Wales. This is, Chase
I see Wiener.
Manafort from the Milton Haven Sheriff's Department. I'm calling in regards to some questions I have for you regarding an ongoing investigation.
Yeah.
Where were you last Tuesday? Oh, that's right. You were home alone. Like a loser.
That sounds like a lovely way to spend a Tuesday night. Real talk. I think that's everything left on this floor, which means there's only stuff up above. I kind of don't want to, like, because we only have a half hour left of stream, I don't necessarily want to, like, start the next level, because it's gonna be until Wednesday that we play, right? That's kind of a long time to go between, like, the very, or, like, just starting a level. So we might just wander around for a little bit more. And then pick this back up on Monday. Might end just a smidge early. We shall see. I want to... Oh. No super auto pets for me, thanks. That's on the roof. In the roof? On the roof. I'm not a cool kid, Fruity. Look, I'd expect you to know that by now. I'm not a cool kid. We could. Y'all want to watch another episode of Battlestar? In the server, obviously. Not on here. How? What if I... That's clearly not what I'm supposed to do. How do I get this to work? Can I just shoot that? Alright. We could definitely do another episode. How do I fix? That's gotta be something that we do for like the next.
Looks like some sort of a radio device. It's emitting a faint hum.
That's gotta be something that we get from the next level, right?
There's only so much I can carry.
Yep, we definitely meet Baby Yoder soon.
And he's back.
Close out with a
Time for some
song?
music.
I don't know that we'll listen to all of it. It might just annoy me. How dare they put heavy guitars to Max's stupid shit. Oh, I didn't mean to leave. I already was annoyed, Tanya. I'm sorry. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We don't care about Max, as terrible as that is. I guess we'll,
Keep calm and keep going.
I want to make sure that we save before we leave, because it would be extremely unfortunate to do all this. We will walk into the apartment and then leave it there. And then meet up in the server. Oh my god, if my cat- I mean, look, Devo tries already. Lamia would be so sassy. Unnecessarily so. She already pretty much is, but if she had words behind it. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. She is looking at me right now. Lucas's cabin. It didn't save though. Okay, it's fine. We'll grab the stuff. Limber up every morning, no excuses. Life expectancy of a radio man was 5 seconds. Always defy the odds. Okay.
I needed that.
We won't start his level, obviously. Always sassing me internally. Yeah, the next patient is... Oh, fuck, what was his name? I don't remember, but he's the one who called us on the phone. That we... Not Trenchcoat Man, but the one who left the voicemail. I don't know what any of his stuff is. He's a radio guy, obviously. Hopefully better than the last. We get to treat our cake next. Let's go, friends! Alright, between 1945 and 1973, the government and CIB held numerous major experiments involving psychoactive drugs. See research on MK Montauk files, Philadelphia shipyard, etc. Files found on Greenland shark toxin, tryptopsyban mushroom extracts, rainbow herbicides, Agent Orange, Agent Purple, Agent Green. Where does rainbow fit in? Soldiers equal government property. Civilians equal private risk/reward. He's a conspiracy theorist, isn't he? But not actually. Everyone treated him like he was. But he's actually a cool dude.
No power.
Is my guess. Wilfred Bill Bird, government liaison, Poughkeepsie, New York. Age 59. Recently transferred to Milton Haven from Long Island, New York. Credentials unknown, status unknown. Involvement absolute. We do love a good conspiracy wall. I am going to be printing out all of our lovely doodles sometime soon, so I can put them on our very own conspiracy corkboard. And I will be getting pins and red thread so we can tie all of the pictures together. Leave little notes around it. I'm very excited about it.
Can't carry any more of this.
Oh, we didn't read this one. Known establishments and associates. I mean, this is all... We can read some of this later. We'll go ahead and grab the tape. It has now saved. So we will end here. It all comes back to Kayshurrr pork. It's true, it's true. Alright. Well, we have gone through the bad level. That's great. You love to see that. We will get back to this, check out this new patient on Monday. But before then, we will do more My Lovely Daughter on Friday afternoon, and then actually properly do... Well, I can't say properly do, because it was proper last time, but we will do an Indie Friday. Whatever. Words. Sam's not here. Thank you for the lovely not daughter stream. Thank you, Arcade, for being here. Y'all are fantastic and darling, as always. And I love hanging out. There are our raid messages. Oh, we can raid Sam. Okay, sorry. I thought you were screaming that Sam was around, and I was like, Sam's not here. We can go raid Sam though. I love Sam. Doing some more Pokemon, which means Sam is drawing whatever Pokemon they catch for their team. We gotta go hang out with Sam. Facts. Hands down. This is what we're doing. I love you guys. I will see y'all next time. Take care of your dang selves, as always.
So we came here to burgle your turts.
No! No turf burgling. Go send all of the love over to Sam. They're delightful and fantastic, and we love them. Anywho, like I said, take care of your dang selves. We will see y'all next time. Have a fucking great one, y'all. Goodbye. Oh, hi, Smiley. Bye, Smiley.